hello everybody out there in spirit watching land. We are here out in Rocklin today helping a really sweet family just get some answers about some general activity in their space. As usual, we come in not really knowing anything about any of the claims. We will get to that. We will get their story from them soon. We are limiting our size of our team just for good safety protocol and all of that good stuff, and keeping our social distancing as we are still in, where are we? March of 2021, believe it or not.
We are back in the red though.
Yeah, we are. We are. So we're
not in purple anymore.
Yay, woo! So we're just, we're just out here trying to do right by our clients. Make sure that they get the answers that they need, that they deserve, and what will give them some just peace of mind in their space so they can be aware of what is and is not happening, what is paranormal, what maybe can be explained by some other means. I had been feeling some really profound ringing in my ears in the space while trying to focus in on some of the collective energy. And we will go through the whole house and kind of do a general walkthrough and just see what I feel. I did hear a woman kind of really just kind of chewing my ear off, really just going on and on about stuff. Older lady, I mean, probably, I don't know, definitely over 60, maybe even closer to 80, like somewhere in that range. She's bossy, but there is a level of beautiful sweetness about her that she means well. She wants to make sure people have enough, that they're safe, that they have, it's this very collective, embracing type of feeling. There are a couple of older males in the background that haven't really said anything to me yet. And so I haven't quite locked in on them energetically. One of them seems to be close to 70. One is a little bit older than that. And there is some other peripheral energy that is really staying kind of on the outskirts that I may discover as I walk through the space. They keep telling me that there's a visual and auditory phenomena occurring, and I don't know who is aware of it and who's not aware of it, but there feels to be like maybe something will move, or maybe like a little sound. Oh, it was probably just an animal, or oh, it was just probably this. There's a lot of trying to rationalize what is being experienced, but like, that's weird, that's different. And something that I was kind of picking up also, I know our clients have children that are kind of leaving the nest, but I think there has been at least one of them that might have, their stress or their energy may have affected the energy of the space, like they may have launched some psychokinetic energy into the space through hormonal change, possibly even causing like electrical or that type of phenomena. So I want to kind of feel around and see what speaks to us, and of course see what the meters say to kind of validate what I'm feeling and also what the clients are feeling. But they're excited to get some answers and get some balance, and some things we can fix. Some things may always be present, especially if it's a loved one in the space that's just, maybe they're a little louder than they should be. The clients may have to negotiate with their loved ones and have some boundaries set up with the other side so they don't get so rowdy or so loud about things. This particular male, he's giving me a lot of abdominal discomfort. Something going on with him. He would like to talk later, but he's giving me a lot of pressure in the abdominal cavity. Something going on with him in the digestive range or one of these organs. Definitely uncomfortable with him. Very grumpy man, but only on the outside. I can see much deeper than that. His external, I'm just going to tuck through it. There's a beautiful sweetness underneath that I'd like to get him to give us. So I think we should walk through the home, check out the rooms, see what we feel in each space, if there's hot spots and so forth. Brent behind this camera, Wendy behind that camera. If you guys feel anything too, just kind of, we'll figure it out. And as far as the clients, as we walk through the space, as I feel stuff, if you want to just give general validations as we go, like if I say, hey, I feel this in this room, you could say, yeah, I know that makes sense. And then we can actually sit down and kind of talk about your story and figure out what kind of lines up for you guys. So we can do our walkthrough and have an adventure. The man with the abdominal pain is following me, and I also feel some chest pain. Like I can't breathe. Can't breathe. Somebody has a breathing issue. There's a breathing problem. Inability to get air. This could be asthma, COPD, or even reflux, or could even be like a illness in this region, pneumonia, something going on with the lungs. This actually might even be a matter of death because they're really laboring the breathing. That bossy, sweet lady is complimenting. No wonder I like the lamp, because she's complimenting the lamp. She goes, well, that's just creative. Okay, so I get in here, and my knee hurts. My right knee hurts a lot. I'm having a lot of sharp pain in my right knee. Somebody with a little bit of mobility or something going on. It's very restrictive, very painful. There's some residual energy going on in here too. A little bit of bossiness and residual energy in here. Like, no, it goes here. No, it goes there. No, put it over here. Pick this up. Do this. No, do that. There's a very massive residual banter / bickering in this space. There's a lot of that. I can hear the. Knock that off. Do that. No, I don't. Why do you tell me to do that? I don't want to do that. That's stupid. A lot of that going on. Whew, man, it hurts in the chest. Still hurts in the chest. I would feel like in this space, being comfortable, getting set in, that there would be out of the corner of your eye. What was that? Do you see something? Did you see a shadow? Did you see a movement? Like slight peripheral movement, a lot of peripheral movement. And still with the auditory phenomenon. Like you get all cozy, you get all comfortable, you're all in your space, and then suddenly get a plunk, or like a little, like a little noise or a movement. Everybody note how cute this is. That is adorable. The child. Yeah, the shadow play, just there's so much movement, almost like pacing. Like here, and then you go here like this, and then you kind of back like this, and there's this pacing, this nervousness, this constant movement, constant pacing, constant movement. Ooh, almost unnerving. Okay, let's decide, what direction do you dead people want me to go?
Which way do we go?
This energy is focused and demanding. There's a lot of demanding energy. Demand on themselves, demand on a lot. There's a lot of demand and intensity. A little scattered, wanting to march to the beat of your own drum. A demand for autonomy, a demand for this is how it needs to be done. Very demanding energy overall, just a pushy energy, but loyal and caregiving. There's a very, are you hurt? Let me take care of you type of, I don't know, I feel that type of vibration in the space as well. Sort of a interesting sort of subtle sweetness.
Yeah.
Energy in there. Well, clearly there is a layer of creativity in the space because of the objects, but there's something else that happened in this space at some juncture. Almost like this there's a level of spiritual connectivity, or the psychokinetic energy may have possibly launched from one of these two rooms, because there's a level of intensity that is coming from that's permeating from the walls in this space. It's there's a couple layers going on here. There's a heaviness in this space. There's positivity, but there's also heaviness. It's kind of at odds. A lot of energy that's at odds with itself in the space. Very opinionated energy coming out of here. And I don't know why I keep seeing, I just keep seeing some, like I see it outdoors and trails. I see like hiking and biking trails.
Interesting.
And I don't know why. I just keep seeing like the need to be outdoors and the need to see something outdoors or do something outdoors.
Eerie sounding doors.
Great.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Creepiness.
well here's all the trails. Look at that. That's interesting.
And we can document that you had not been in here yet.
I had not. Oh, it's wooziness though. It's like a lot of energetic motion. There's a lot of like swirling energy in here. Oh, okay. Sciatic and hip pain. I just want to hear whatever you have to say. There's another older male, probably in his 80s, a little bit thinning hair. He's extremely old-fashioned. These damn kids these days. So he's kind of funny about it, but he's maybe a little heavier set, but not bad. He says that he watches. That is his job, to protect and watch. So he may have had some sort of military or law enforcement or first responder background, or been raised by somebody with that type of background, because he's very guarded, protected, regimented, a little anal about some things, to be honest. And he's saying that the energy in this space, not to worry, they'll figure it out. They'll go. They're going places. They are going places. But he watches he watches everybody. He really makes sure to like lift people, hoist people, kind of get people going, give people motivation. But sort of in a forceful way, like, come on, buy your bootstraps, let's go. He's very motivating, and trying to like shove people forward, because you need to succeed, you need to try, you need to apply yourself, you need to dedicate yourself. For some reason, there is a younger male that I keep hearing in the background. And younger for me, anyone, I would say anybody below age 40, but just a younger male, and he's got like an uncle or cousin or brotherly type of vibration to him. And he's just very fast paced and very hectic, but he's just like, come on, let's everybody go. He wants to like gather everyone together and have a party. He's very bouncy about, like, excited about something. I do feel like he would have had some sort of blue collar type of aspiration, like, or maybe like he liked to work with his hands. He seems adept with his hands. But his death is a little confusing to me. I'm very confused by his death because I have a lot of head pain, like just sudden head pain. So he could be peripheral to the location. Not sure.
See?
A lot of head trauma. Not comfortable at all.
Okay.
Wee. Whew. 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 What is going on in here? That's interesting. Okay. All right, just come on. Show me what you need to show me. So the older female is in here with me now again. So she's kind of followed me in here, and she's just tell me, what do you need to tell me? Ooh. Somebody had vertigo. Somebody suffered from vertigo. Because there's a lot of dizziness. Something of the head with the dizziness. And the sleep. What's wrong with the sleep? I almost feel like you would lay and then your eyes could pop open and for a split second, something goes by. Just a shadow, just a moment. I don't know if the living would actually be able to like interpret this or if you would have to be sensitive to interpret it or not. I'm not positive on that. But there is definitely a sleep disturbance. There's the disturbance in the force.
No, it was the vertigo during sleep?
No, this is, I'm not sure who had the vertigo.
Okay.
But it's, profound, very profound pain in the shoulder region. Like a mobility pain. In the back. It feels crunchy. Very tight. Very tight. There's also a anxiety in the space. Very driven, very focused. Control and perfectionism. Love, passion, loyalty. Harmony, peace, looking for balance. And I don't know how to say this, but like almost mental level intelligence. This is like there's an intelligence coming from this whole space that's like super nerd, for lack of a better term. I feel so restricted in my shoulders. So tight. Now this is the thing too, like you sleep and you hear a sound and you're like, oh, I'm sure it was whatever, more of that trying to figure it out type of vibe. Any of the dead, you can talk. Go ahead, just show me what you need to show me. Show me. Okay, you got to be a little more specific. So, as an empathic medium, they speak to me in symbol. So it's real fun. It's like Pictionary with the dead. I literally saw somebody bouncing around on a John Deere tractor, riding around. I'm like, what the hell was this land? Either that was residual, or it's either connected to you, or it's residual to the land. But I just saw this guy, hanging out and just trucking around on his little like tractor. What the hell am I looking at? So some soul has a very country vibe, clearly. Very down home. You gotta show me stuff. Just show me whatever you want to show me. There is such an utter compassion, energetically feeling like coming from right in here, right in this space. Wanting to help, wanting to heal, wanting to give, wanting to, nurture. There is deep nurturing energy also coming from this space. There's another woman. She's about maybe 65, 70 years of age. Shorter hair. Sort of sandy colored hair. She did like things just so. She was a very particular woman. But she would never turn anyone away that needed something. She liked things put back in their places and the place settings done this way and the family traditions in a certain way, but nobody ever went away hungry. Nobody ever went away without under her watch. I'm still back with that male with that abdominal discomfort. Oh, what is that? It's very uncomfortable. Thank you, sir. I understand. Oh. Why do you want me to go in there? It's just the bathroom. Yes, but sometimes they feel creeped out in the bathroom. Like the sensation of not being alone. I don't feel alone. I'm not alone. Who's that other male? The male in his, I'd say, 70s. He's a little bit broad-shouldered, very strong-minded, smart. Liked his guy time. He's an interesting fellow. Big bright smile. Very charismatic gentleman. Very charismatic soul. That's a lot of dead people. I keep feeling like there should be cats in here. Maybe it's just because I like cats, but I just keep feeling like something should be underfoot. And I know you have living dogs, but I keep feeling like something should be under my feet and like getting in my way. Like I feel like, oh no, there's nobody there. So if whether that's residual or an actual animal spirit, but I don't know. It just like weaving between. Like I can't get 2 inches forward because it's like weaving. Very cute though. Oh, that energy in this space. Yeah, there's a lot of just kind of a hodgepodge of, I don't feel anything toxic, dark or negative, but I do feel like at least one of those rooms back there, we're getting, somebody was so stressed out at some point and they put a lot of social pressure on themselves that it launched out into like acting out, being mouthy, being challenging, not feeling like they fit in, not accepting themselves, not accepting rules, not accepting anyone. A huge level of defiance that ultimately became almost like an anxiety disorder and then launched energy into the space to where everybody's bickering, everybody's chaotic, nobody feels like they're sleeping good or they're content, all out of psychokinetic energy. But I think that volume is adjusting at this point, but I feel like it's the sense of not fitting in. So that caused some sort of wavering. There was that kind of emotional wavering going on. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So much happening. I think that maybe we probably could sit down and discuss some of what I felt so far and then decide where to target with the meters and what hotspots are really paramount to you guys and also anything that I picked up on that you related to or could validate, anything that made sense to you. So maybe we could find a location that we have appropriate social distancing and so forth. So obviously we did a little intuitive walkthrough of the space so far. Still got to break out the meters and all the other gadgets to add layers, because what we do as Spirit is a layered approach. We want to put it all together so we get you a comprehensive picture. My gift, while fun as it is only one piece of kind of the puzzle for you guys. We want these other layers to validate my feelings, your experiences, and so forth. So based on just the walkthrough, we would love to hear kind of what you've been experiencing and also anything that, we kind of keyed in on that made any sense to you guys within the process of the walkthrough. I mean, obviously, some of what I feel is very symbolic and abstract, but maybe it's relevant to you. So we'd like to hear from you guys. What's been going on and what do you got? What do you think?
Okay, so when we first moved in, 2 of the kids got locked out.
Oh. Randomly.
We were gone.
Oh.
And they went out onto the back patio and tried to come in and it was locked.
Oh,
they're like, that's strange, whatever, it is what it is. And then just the dogs looking in a specific direction, making noise, lots of that.
Okay, so the auditory phenomenon is a big thing.
Yeah. And then in the middle of the night, I was sound asleep and I felt the bed move and heard a hello.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
he was in the closet one day. We were talking like this far away, and a shoebox that had been up on the top shelf for the longest time just kind of went like somebody tapped it.
Okay, so the movement of objects, that's
lots of that. The Xbox turns on frequently, like at least once a day, at least.
So something is messing with the electrical. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
What else?
And yes, I have turned off the auto update on that, so it shouldn't be turning on.
Shouldn't be doing
There's no reason for it.
There's no reason for
Well,
it.
yeah, and you guys seem pretty logical. Like, you would try to debunk.
There's other things that have turned on. The fan turns on and off. The lights turn on and off. That happens all the time. But again, they're all remote. They're all RF signals, so it's possible it's some sort of
Remote is affecting
right. Possible. There have been some odd shadows that don't seem to be shadows in the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a good view of the bathroom that you walked into in the back, and has seen a shadow of something standing right there in the door. So that's been there.
Wow.
The garage.
So they left. All the girls left one day out the garage, and immediately when they left, they were outside. They called me. They said, "I smell smoke."
No, it smelled like matches.
Smelled like matches, sulfur, smoke,
Okay.
right? In the garage. So we walked out into the garage, and they had left, and I, okay, well now I'm smelling some sort of gas, something. So PG&E was called, and turns out that while we smelled all that, and that was all true, one of the fluorescent lights ballast had blown above, so that could have been what they smelled. However, when I sat down and Googled what's the smell, Google came back with a fluorescent light ballast blew. She goes to school, Googles almost the exact same verbiage.
My partner teacher, who is sensitive.
Oh, okay.
Extremely. She's an empath. So she typed it in, and the first thing that came up on the Google search was, "Your house is haunted." And she was like, "There you go. There's the explanation.
There it is.
Could
have been she Googles that frequently.
I made sure she used the same words that he used, though.
That's very interesting.
It is.
Well,
interesting.
the
pages of it too.
The phenomena of being able to smell things that residual. It could be a residual thing from way before, and or the spirits could be utilizing an object that's already in your space to create something that is reminiscent from their experience years ago, maybe even before this house was here. Maybe they had an experience, maybe they had another property here, maybe there was like a fire or something to that effect, and that residual memory is carrying over, and sure, maybe they're utilizing something in your home to create that sense memory and that smell in your space. But being any of the clairvoyant abilities, being able to smell, see, hear the other side, I mean, it's a thing. That actually is a valid thing. And if you guys have a little bit of that kind of running through the space a little bit, it's possible more than one of you has that kind of feeling or that just more openness or inclination to the other side, which can also invite energy a little bit to make themselves more known and present. They're like, oh, they look kind of interesting and nice. Let me go visit that house. And so that can key up activity as well. And it would also explain some of the psychokinetic PK ability that might be present in the space. Some of the things like light bulbs breaking or electronics turning on can be the dead, but it can also come from a living agent. If you're stressed out, you have a really bad day, you're anxious about something, boom, all the electrical has a problem that day. It can absolutely happen.
And it does.
And it does.
Yeah.
You can have really intense dreams and blow up electronics.
Yeah, that was...
I apologize. So, what I'm saying is it happens, all right? You don't always mean to do it. So sometimes it's involuntary. So stress management techniques are good for anybody who has a little bit of a sense-ish with things and maybe knows when they get stressed out, things go weird in a house. Looking into ways to manage the stress. Stretching, yoga, tai chi, breathing exercises, journaling to help disperse energy. Might not be a bad idea, just saying. So other kind of things between what we picked up on and what your experiences are, what are some of the things that are making...
That middle bedroom, that's my daughter's room, and until she was 4, she was having interactions with my cousin that passed while I was pregnant with her.
Oh, wow.
And somebody told her at 4 years old that he was dead, and she was devastated because that was her friend. Oh. So I'm wondering if she's pull-in.
Uh-huh.
That makes a lot of
And,
sense.
and so, in which color room? Which
Turquoise.
what's the turquoise?
No, not turquoise.
The
The
middle
white
one,
one.
with all
Sorry.
the medals and the trails.
Okay, that one. All right, yeah, no, that.
The youngest.
Mhm.
The baby.
And that was where I got a lot of the intense feelings, and also, started picking up on a lot of different energy, including a younger male. So
Yeah, that's something
it's
else.
a little weird, a little odd.
Uh-huh. And the energy that you described was, he was always, let's go, let's do it. Like the party guy.
Okay. Well, it's nice to know that he's looking out for you guys. I mean, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Weird, but sweet, It's like, it doesn't mean he's stuck. It doesn't mean he's like earthbound or anything like that.
Okay.
It might just mean like, oh, I just want to help. Like, roll up my sleeves and come and help.
That makes sense.
It's very nice that he's wanting to do that.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And the fact that, she was having those experiences as a young child with that soul.
Mm-hmm. We
Makes
could
sense.
hear her
And he's-
talking
Oh,
Wow.
to him all the time. And we just thought she was imagining.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
But it
that's
was it was real.
It was, yeah.
Very
it was
real.
real for her because it was real.
yeah.
I mean,
any different. That was her
Oh my
friend.
gosh.
Some
And she
people-
must have been so sad when she found out he was actually.
Crushed.
Oh.
did she stop having experiences after
Yeah.
that? Because it was sort of a trauma for her.
Oh.
Has she ever seen him ever again?
She hasn't said.
Mm.
She might block it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes, you get kind of out of touch with your sensitivity. But it doesn't mean that the sensitivity has gone away. It's just a little more dormant. But you're still capable of launching energy into the space. Like, you can still affect your environment. Even if you're ignoring your gift and ability, it can still leak out all over the dang place and affect everyone around you. So.
You keep getting facial recognition in places that don't have faces.
Oh, good.
Isn't that special?
Well, I mean, they're excited they're being talked about.
Very
So.
Like, there's
It's not
like
that
little
unusual, really.
faces that aren't there keep popping up all over the place.
That's creepy.
Creepy, but cool.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad that he's here to at least kind of give you guys that validation, and maybe you can let her know that he showed up to say, hey.
Oh my. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's nuts.
That's kind of sweet.
It is
Comforting.
sweet.
It's interesting that you said the living energy. The first room you went into in the back,
The blue one.
my youngest daughter just went to college,
Oh, okay.
and you nailed her.
Oh.
Absolutely nailed her.
100%.
I mean, 100%. I totally nailed her.
Well, her energy's into the space.
Right.
I mean, I just get to feel it.
Right.
Very much there for sure.
Yeah, totally nailed her.
And there was
I
a
mean,
blowout with her friends near the end of her senior year of high school that she
Right.
really didn't fit in.
High school's hard.
It is
High school's
hard.
awesome.
missed all of her senior stuff, all of that. So it just, it totally devastated the whole. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
Well, send good energy her way so she can.
She's doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
yeah, but-
Oh wow, that's really weird.
right.
It was kind of like spot on.
Oh.
Yeah, totally nailed her.
Oh, wow.
Well, she's a very vibrant soul apparently.
She is.
Yeah, she's very
She's
shiny.
I don't know if there's much else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just there. Like you said, there's nothing bad.
Mhm.
There are just oddities
Yeah.
that occur, and the odd shadows that don't seem to be there, the sounds that seem to be coming from nowhere. The dogs just, all three of them are
Yeah.
doing their own thing, and all of a sudden they're like, "What was that?"
All three at the same time.
And then they'll
Yeah.
stare for a
Yep.
couple of minutes somewhere. Again, you can explain that where they're hearing some sound that outside that we can't hear. Okay, fine. You could,
And
if you
they
wanted
also
to, if you needed to, but
yeah, they
you know.
see in light spectrums we can't.
right.
So
It isn't any, like you said, it isn't anything bad. It doesn't seem to be anything toxic. It doesn't seem to be it's just
busy.
interesting. And maybe it is busy. I mean, we're not, at least I'm not,
You're not having any negative
Overwhelming,
experience,
right.
which is good.
Right.
That's comforting to us.
Yeah.
It'll make our job easier.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, we haven't been in this house for very long, but none of it has been, troublesome or problematic or at all. I mean,
Okay.
it's not poltergeist or anything. So
Thank
we're good.
God.
Yeah, no.
Goodness.
Even when I felt it on the bed and heard heard the hello.
It was more of just a
It was just like
curious. Yeah.
It's like,
are you awake? Are you
that's weird. What are
You've
you
got
doing?
some protective energies. There's probably some ancestral energies that I was picking up on for you guys that were stepping forward, 2-3 generations back, that type of thing. There could be some stuff associated with the land or previous owners that just lingers, that sort of remnant energy sort of thing. Because I did pick up on several different souls. So, they could either be connected to you guys in some way, shape, or form, or the space. But none of them seem aggressive or mean. They're just here.
History that we do know, this whole area is called the racetrack for a reason.
Okay.
It was a racetrack.
Oh.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and so that's what it was called. We don't know why nor how long ago. I don't know if it was cars. I don't know if it was horses. I don't know what it was. But the land was all piece parted, sold off. And I guess the one gentleman that built this house kept this part of the property. He must have owned swaths of the land around. I don't know for sure. But he built this house, and he built the house next door.
Okay.
For his mother,
Oh.
who died. And when she died, he sold that house and this house. There is a doorbell on the back.
Oh, geez.
You see the fence.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
fence
wow.
is new. There used to be no fence because they used to just ring the back doorbell instead of coming around. So they had both houses at some point. I don't know how long ago that was. I'm pretty sure that house was sold. He was still here for a little while, decided to sell this place to somebody
It was
who
a rental
then,
for a minute.
and then who's then sold it to us. So I'm pretty sure we're not very far removed from that family, those people.
So there might be some of that history and energy.
Could be, right.
For sure, yeah.
Could be. So I don't have all the details of the history, but that's the little bit that we know.
Interesting.
But again, it's
It's fascinating.
all connected at some
This
point.
was built in, 94 or something?
It's like 80, 90, I don't know.
I think it was in the
91,
90s,
yeah.
early 90s.
Yeah.
They'll have to do some history and
We'll
research.
do some
after the
history on
fact.
that. I'm curious now. So
Yeah, 'cause I don't obviously get into any of that for myself because I have to just
Sure.
feel the space.
Right.
But yeah, you guys can do a little homework.
I do know that we have some connections. It's weird how the connections were. For example, we had our neighbor next door was having water issues, and he went to dig something in his garden or something and dropped like 3 feet into an open,
Oh, my.
almost a cistern type well.
Oh, interesting.
What we found out is the water pipes that run through our yard is actually feeding water for people 3 blocks away. They had not had any water issues, none at all. We had a tree behind our bedroom that there's no water back there at all. Never watered it. It grew. I mean, it was huge.
Oh, it just
And it
had
was because of the pipe. The
Underground
pipe
source.
had broken. And so we
Oh,
finally got them to fix the pipe. But it's just interesting how all this stuff is kind of connected. And we don't know how. I mean, I don't have all the history. It'd be interesting actually to see the history. and
the
see
way
what's
that the
connected.
land was interconnected years ago, and they've just never really changed anything.
How long? Yeah, and how long again? I don't know. So,
Interesting.
attach a pipe quickly and then we'll just redivert
Yes,
this.
yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
Oh my
and it's
gosh.
possible. I've had family here since the 80s, so probably before this house was built. But I don't remember any of this land or a racetrack here or anything. So it had to have been well before that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any of that. But
Well, we'll have to.
I've been.
we'll do the history.
Yeah, you guys have to dig around. So it sounds like some of the things that I felt as I walked through the space resonated to you guys.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You're probably like, what's going on?
And again, it's not not bad.
Yeah.
You know.
It's good to have it validated, though. You have somebody who doesn't know you come into the space, and so some of the things you're experiencing and feeling, you're like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Look, all right. It does give you that level of comfort.
And that bathroom back there, I've looked out the blinds several times.
Yeah, it felt kind of like
Noises there.
Very strange feeling.
Somebody peeking in my blinds? But no,
that's
never.
the feeling of being watched. In
Yeah.
there. It's,
That's
you
not
know.
a feeling you want to have in the
Never.
bathroom.
No, not so much.
Well, obviously, when I smudge it and clear it, it will hopefully lift some of that energy. And some of what you might be experiencing is just like souls wandering around on the land. And so you're feeling them, you're feeling watched. They're not really interacting with you. They're going about their merry way.
Yeah.
But you're feeling it, and so it gives you that little bit of an uneasy vibe.
Whew.
Especially when you see stuff out of the corner of your eye, like,
Yeah.
what the heck was that?
That can leave you a little bit
Yeah, that's-
unsettled.
That's the shadows. I mean, I actually asked the eye doctor because I wore contacts for a long time, and I'm like, I'm seeing, and he's like, oh, and then he told me a shooting star story where he and his wife were watching shooting stars, and he was seeing all this stuff, and he's like, oh, look at that one, look at that one. She's like, what the hell are you seeing?
I mean, well, there's a difference between having like the floaters, because that's a totally normal thing, you know, and that's. But literally seeing like a figure walking out of the corner of your eye, that ain't a floater.
It's like that pace.
Yeah, it's
Different
sort of,
pace.
you can tell the gait and the movement and the size and the shape. Floaters are like little squigglies that kind of, you know, move around. Sometimes a little patch of color, but not like a person.
Right.
That's,
Like weird shadows.
Yeah.
Just weird shadows.
you sort of can tell the difference. You know? I mean, it's our job kind of to let you guys know that you're not crazy. Like, you really are having these experiences, and that's, you know, and that's fine. That they are what they are. But maybe we can dig a little deeper, get a few answers from some of these souls, and in the event that they do have something to say or to convey to us, if they need any help with anything. Most of the souls that I feel are just, they're quite content to go about their business throughout your space and around the property overall. They don't really mean any harm, but you know, maybe they have a little something to impart, and obviously with your cousin, maybe he's got something to
He may have
share.
something to share.
If he wants to. I mean, he doesn't have to, but if he wants to come forward.
After all this, he better.
Yeah. Seriously.
Very much might.
Well, we can definitely encourage him to interact either through the meters or spirit box or whatever, and see what he wants to do. But you know, we leave it open to them what they're comfortable with and what they feel like they want to do for us. Did any of the older people make any sense, or do you think they might be attached to like previous ownership?
No, the older people didn't make any sense to us at all. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah,
We named the woman the first time, and I don't remember what her name
Like
was.
Meredith or something.
Meredith or something.
M name.
I mean, honestly, and it could be maybe
Maybe.
the gal next door.
Yeah.
You know.
Could have been mom.
Did she die in the home?
We don't know.
We don't know. That's not
That'd be
something they would ever
interesting to know.
impart to us. So I mean, it may be neighbor rumor mill, but I don't ever remember getting that information. So yeah, I don't know if she died over there, or you know.
And the
like-
guy down the street that knows everything about the neighborhood never said anything.
I mean, if she spent, and obviously she spent a lot of her life here, even if she didn't die in the house, she's comfortable coming into these spaces.
Yeah.
She's comfortable being here. She takes joy and pride over this space, so she might pop in from time to time. She seems like a neat lady, though. So if she
Yeah,
wants to,
never
if she wants to
scared me.
help, yeah, if she wants to be useful and help out, hell,
Wash my
Do
dishes.
some
Go
dust.
ahead.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Just go right.
The loudest thing in this space is the living energy. So I think that more than one of you in this house is a little bit spiritually in tune, to say the least. I think there's a volume thing going on. So there's maybe a little bit of that going on, and that will also leave an imprint on the space as well. So you know, just learn to manage your feelings, learn to manage your stress. And mix, you know, if you mix your energy and some of the spiritual energy and they feel you getting stressed out about something, they may get stressed out, and then that really causes a confluence of energetic shift, which can affect the environment physically, spiritually, all of that. So you have to kind of watch how you're feeling and then work with that, and kind of just, it's more a mindfulness thing. You feel stressed, okay, what are you going to do? Let's step back. Let's not try to bottle it up. Let's not try to ignore it. Let's not try to cover it up. Let's feel the feeling, let's express the feeling, and then find a way to deal with the feeling, you know, whether that's like a 10-minute guided meditation, or if that's, you know, just doing a little bit of breathing exercises, something to healthfully kind of express the emotion and the feeling so it doesn't get bottled into you, because it'll cause physical manifestations if you let stress manifest for too long. This is true for the kids, this is true for you guys. Stomach problems, digestive problems, insomnia, backaches, headaches, all of these things can be triggered if you're not processing your feelings. And then, of course, you can manipulate the environment, too, with the electronics and so forth, accidentally. It's all about awareness, you know. It's not doing something wrong, doing something right. It's just being aware and just diverting yourself a little. So that makes sense to you?
Oh, totally.
So I think we'll break out some meters, unless there's other things you want to add to kind of that's kind of the basics of your experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then we'll break out some meters and we'll just poke through the entire house, pick up anything. If
So
any
cool.
spirits want to poke them, or if we walk into something that has high EMF that is natural, we can tell you that too. Just see what the space has to say. Cool.
Sounds good.
Wants to come.